Imagine standing in a room with no windows, hunched over a sewing machine. It is 2 a.m. Your back screams in agony. You have been sitting in this exact chair since 8 a.m. yesterday morning. You are exhausted. Your eyes are blurring, but you cannot stop. If you stop, you don't get paid. If you make a mistake, a single crooked stitch, your supervisor won't just yell at you. They will deduct money from your paycheck. You are working an 18-hour shift, and you will do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. You have no weekends. You have 1 day off a month, and for this life-draining labor, you are paid pennies per garment. This is not a scene from a history book about the Industrial Revolution. This is happening right now, today, inside the factories that built a $100 billion empire. This is the dark engine behind the most downloaded shopping app in the world. This is the true cost of that $5 dress from Shein. We need to talk about the scale of this operation because it is almost impossible to comprehend. At its peak valuation, Shein was worth more than Zara and H&M combined. But unlike those traditional retailers, Shein doesn't just follow trends, it forces them into existence at a speed that shouldn't be physically possible. Every single day, thousands of new designs appear on their app. Not hundreds, thousands. To keep up with that insatiable demand, the pressure rolls downhill, crushing the people at the very bottom of the supply chain. Investigative journalists went undercover, smuggling hidden cameras into the factories in Guangzhou, China, that supply this retail giant. What they found was a system designed to strip workers of their humanity. In one factory, the camera captured workers casually discussing their hours. They weren't complaining, they were just stating facts. They start at 8 inches the morning and often don't leave until the early hours of the next day. A 75-hour work week is considered a light week. For many, it's closer to 90 or 100 hours. The pay structure is where the trap really snaps shut. It is called piece rate pay. You aren't paid by the hour, you are paid by the item. In some of these factories, the rate was discovered to be as low as 4 cents per garment. Think about that. You have to sew hundreds of items just to buy a simple lunch. And because the pay is so low, you have no choice but to work those 18-hour days just to survive. It is a cycle of exhaustion that never ends. But it gets worse. The undercover footage revealed a brutal penalty system. If a worker makes a mistake on a piece of clothing, they are fined. In some cases, the fine for a mistake is 2/3 of their daily wage. Imagine working for 14 hours, making one slip-up because your eyes are tired, and losing almost everything you earned that day. It creates an atmosphere of constant, low-level terror. You are tired, you are hungry, but you are terrified to blink. There was a heartbreaking moment in the investigation, where workers were seen using their short lunch break not to rest, but to wash their hair in the factory sinks because they simply have no time to do it at home. They essentially live at the machine. They are ghosts in the machine of fast fashion, invisible to the millions of teenagers scrolling through TikTok, hauling bags of clothes they might only wear once. So, how does Shein do this? How did they become this massive? They reinvented the supply chain. Traditional fashion brands design a collection, have it made, and ship it to stores months later. Shein uses algorithms to scrape the internet, social media, user data, search trends to identify micro-trends instantly. They then order incredibly small batches from these factories, maybe just 100 items. If the item sells well, the algorithm automatically orders more. If it doesn't, they dump it. This sounds smart from a business perspective, but physically, it creates chaos on the factory floor. The workers never know what they will be making from 1 hour to the next. The orders come in erratic bursts, demanding immediate turnaround. This on-demand model is what drives those 18-hour shifts. The algorithm is the boss, and the algorithm doesn't care if humans need sleep. And then there is the quality, or the lack of it. We have all seen the memes. You order a prom dress, and what arrives looks like a crumpled bedsheet. But the danger goes beyond bad stitching. Investigations have found elevated levels of lead and other toxic chemicals in some Shein clothing. Lead is a neurotoxin. It causes brain damage, especially in children. Yet, in the rush to produce cheaper and faster, safety regulations are often treated as mere suggestions. We are literally clothing ourselves in toxicity because it is cheap. This brings us to the environmental catastrophe. Shein's model relies on disposability. The clothes are so cheap that they are treated like single-use plastics. You wear it for a selfie, and then it falls apart or you get bored. Where does it go? It ends up in landfills. There are mountains of discarded fast fashion in the Atacama Desert in Chile, massive dunes of polyester that will not decompose for hundreds of years. A huge percentage of that pile now bears the Shein tag. We are turning the planet into a garbage dump for the sake of a fleeting dopamine hit. The company tries to defend itself. They release glossy sustainability reports. They claim they have a code of conduct for their suppliers. They invite influencers on all expenses paid trips to model factories that look clean, bright, and happy. But the hidden cameras tell a different story. The reality is that Shein does not own these factories directly. They contract them. This allows them to wash their hands of the problem. When a violation is found, they can blame the supplier, cut ties, and move on to the next desperate factory, while the system itself remains broken. It is a game of whack-a-mole. They say they are fixing things, but the math doesn't add up. You cannot sell a dress for $5, ship it halfway across the world, make a profit, and still pay the person who made it a living wage. The economics are impossible unless someone, somewhere, is paying the price with their life. We also have to look at ourselves. The Shein haul culture on social media fuels this fire. When we watch videos of influencers dumping out plastic bag after plastic bag of clothes, we are celebrating a system of exploitation. The app is designed to be addictive. It uses dark patterns, countdown timers, flash sales, point systems to trick our brains into panic buying. It gamifies shopping. It makes us feel like we are winning a game, but the only winner is the corporation. The sheer volume is terrifying. Shein adds more styles to its site in a month than many brands do in a decade. This isn't just clothing. It is consumption on steroids. And as they prepare to go public, to sell shares on the stock market and become even bigger, the pressure on those workers in Guangzhou is only going to increase. Investors want growth. They want higher margins. That usually means squeezing the labor force even harder. So, what is the endgame here? We are looking at a future where clothing is essentially worthless, disposable, and toxic. A future where the divide between the consumer and the creator is so vast that we don't even see them as human beings anymore. When you hold that cheap top in your hands, try to feel the weight of it. Not the physical weight of the polyester, but the human weight. The 18 hours of sitting in a windowless room. The aching back. The fear of a 4-cent deduction. The missed childhoods and the stolen sleep. That is what you are buying. The $100 billion valuation of Shein is not a badge of honor. It is a monument to how much we are willing to ignore for the sake of a bargain. The sweatshop didn't disappear. It just went digital. It got faster, it got smarter, and it got into our phones. The question isn't just, why is Shein doing this?